Hey, this is Toby. I want to thank you guys for being here to help me celebrate. Oh, and I really need to channel my coach here, because I'm not supposed to talk to you as if there was many of you. My video coach tells me I've got to talk to you as if it was just you, because really there's just you listening, not many of you there listening. And so if you're here watching, it looks like StreamYard's having trouble streaming on LinkedIn. I may have to post this on LinkedIn later. But if you're here watching live, comment in either on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn if it ever works. Comment there, hashtag live, and if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, and that would be great. That would help me. And if you've got a question for me, especially if you've got a question and you're on the replay, tag me in the question. Do at Torbjorn Bergstrom or at Professor Bergstrom, depending on which platform you're watching on, and that'll make sure that question gets to me. But this is supposed to be a celebration. It's not a lecture. And I know that when I started one live video series, my wife was watching me do the videos, and she's like, "You're talking like a professor." And I says, "Well, I've been doing that for so long. It's hard not to." So this is not supposed to be a lecture. This is a celebration. I wish I had some of those little things where you could pull the strings and you pop out the thing. But I'm super excited. It's actually really exciting for me, and as corny as it sounds, it really feels like I'm taking the first step for the next part of my life's journey, and I just sort of launched that today. And if you've known me for any length of time, you know that I'm very passionate about manufacturing, and you've also probably heard me threaten to launch a podcast. And I'm certain that if you've heard me threaten to launch the podcast, then you've heard me tell you the title of the podcast, because as soon as I thought of it, I fell in love with it. And it's of course it's the art of manufacturing wealth. I thought that was so cool. And I came to that title because because of the passion for manufacturing, but also because it's the way I see it. Manufacturing is the primary way that new wealth is created in the world. And it gets created by taking raw materials, adding value, that's the wealth creation, and then selling them to somebody that wants them, right? And the cool thing about manufacturing is when you create wealth with manufacturing, the people who do the creating actually get a significant portion of that wealth. It goes to them as their pay and their salary. And of course, the business owners and the investors in the companies, they get a lot of that wealth too. But like 50% of it goes to the people that did the work. And those people live in a community around the manufacturing facility. And then they take that wealth that didn't exist before they got it. They take that wealth and they go spend it in their local stores. They go spend it at their local restaurants. And it helps the whole community grow. And this is why I get super excited about manufacturing, because if we do manufacturing in the communities where we live, then new wealth gets created in our community and it stays there and it filters through our community. And if we live in that society that's just that, people like to call it the service economy. If we live in a service economy, the wealth, it all goes to the top, because we're just trading time for money. We're trading stuff for money. We're trading money for money. And there's people that are really good at trading. And so when we do that, all the wealth goes up to the top. And the people down at the bottom don't get to hold on to it very long, if they even get to hold on to it at all. So I'm super passionate about manufacturing because of the fact that the wealth gets distributed. And, I am a capitalist. Don't let me sound like a communist here. But if the wealth gets distributed to my community, it makes my community nicer. And so I'm a firm believer in this distributed manufacturing idea. Most manufacturing that happens in the United States happens at companies with fewer than 50 employees. In fact, I read just recently that most of the manufacturing that happens in Massachusetts, where I live, happens at companies with less than 20 employees. And it's such a amazing way to get our communities to be nicer, to get our communities to be better. Anyway, that's about my passion for manufacturing. And so and that's how I came up with this title, the Art of Manufacturing Wealth. And so after 4 years of saying, well, as soon as I finish this, I'll start that podcast. I hadn't finished anything really, and I started recording episodes and editing the episodes, and as I was editing, it became really clear that it wasn't just a podcast that I needed. It wasn't that I could be interview guy, and I could bring in all these cool people, and I could, and actually some of the people that I have been interviewing have been really amazing, and I'm learning a lot. Oh, and that's the second thing is I want to learn how to run manufacturing companies better so that I can do a better job, right? And so I've been interviewing all these people, I've been bringing them in, but I realized that it's not sufficient because one, not everybody that I want to talk to, not everybody that has great insights wants to be on a podcast interview. And it's not possible to have all of that just be filtered through me, through my perspective, to bring it out and say, this is the true thing. And so what I did is I created a group on Facebook and a group on LinkedIn that is, well, the group name is The Art of Manufacturing Wealth, just like the podcast name. And I created these groups so that we can have discussions where we can interact with each other, and maybe we can come up with what is the true answer, what is the right things to help and get through this process, and to really create a better world by doing more manufacturing and encouraging more people to come into manufacturing. I talked to a guy yesterday, the Monday before Thanksgiving. Talked to a guy Monday before Thanksgiving, and he's an engineer at a fairly large manufacturing company. They own several CNC machine shops distributed around New England and some other similar manufacturing activities that they do. And he said, I would hire 200 people today, but there's nobody out there looking for the job. And so those companies, he's in big trouble. He needs 200 employees and he needs them today. And so what we were talking about, and we were consulting on this job, it was about how to get more factory automation tools distributed towards job shops, these small manufacturing companies, so that they can take the people they already have and have them do other jobs, because it's not that trying to lay people off by automating. They need those people to go do something else. So they need to automate the processes they can. So 200 people today, that's what he said. And so he's got those kind of problems. I know I've talked to so many small business owners that have told me I would buy another machine tool if I could find somebody to run it. And I've been hearing that for a decade now. And so we need to work together and figure out the solutions to these things. And so yes, I'm doing the podcast and I'm doing the interviews, but I really want to include more people in that discussion. That's why I've created the groups, so that we can have conversations, so that you can maybe suggest people that I could interview, suggest questions for the people that I am interviewing, in those things. So I'm really super excited about this. And it was weird because this morning, when I was, because I've been talking for a month now that the launch was going to be on December 2nd. We're going to launch the group on December 2nd. And then a week later, on December 9th, we're going to launch the first podcast episode, which, by the way, for the first 5 podcast episodes, the only way to see them before January, or to see them, I guess you need to hear them, although there's video with most of them. The only way to hear them before January is to be a member of one of these groups. And so on Facebook, you can just search for The Art of Manufacturing Wealth. It'll find you the group. You can join the group. Please answer the intake questions there. There's 3 questions. They're not hard. And it helps me understand how to develop content that I'm going to release into the group, and how to steer the conversations that are happening in the group. Or on LinkedIn, I'm not very LinkedIn savvy as it comes to groups. I've been in some groups, but I've never run one before. But I think also in LinkedIn, if you just search for The Art of Manufacturing, you'll come up with that group. And in both places, after I'm done with the live video here, I will go ahead and put a link in the description to the appropriate place. And by the way, if you're one of the people watching on YouTube instead of Facebook or LinkedIn, I'm sorry. You'll have to join us on Facebook or LinkedIn if you want to see the episodes in December, if you or hear the episodes in December. If you want to wait till January, you can get them wherever your local podcasts are distributed, all the venues. It'll be out there. Anyway, so this morning I was super nervous. I made a little post in Facebook. I was like, I'm excited and nervous at the same time, and I don't know why I'm nervous, because all I did was say, yes, you guys can come in the group, because there was a few people waiting to join the group, and nothing really changed other than I decided to let people in the group so that we could start this discussion. I know everybody's busy, and I've been rambling here for 10 minutes at least, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause this, but I'm celebrating. I hope that you have some joy with me. And again, if you've got any questions or comments or anything you want to say, tag me. So do at Torbjorn Bergstrom, so that I make sure that I see it. But I'll get back to anybody that has questions. Or if you want to join the group, just go join the group. In fact, if you could think of anybody that should join the group, tell them to go join the groups. And the more we have in there, the merrier it will be, and the more fun everything will be. Thanks very much, and I will talk to you guys next time. Oh, I did it again. I'm supposed to say I will talk to you next time, because I'm only talking to one person at a time. Got to remember that.